It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And able to get this out to the 25. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. Well, this defense for the Falcons, much improved from week one. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
This is where you can try and get a tight end in space. They like this matchup, so they're going to let their 2 receivers to his outside run simple little short routes, hoping to suck up the secondary. And that'll free up space for their tight end on a corner route to make a big play.
He'll take this to the 46. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Swings this out for Hunt. And he's got this down to the 35. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now here's Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. That's Zach Harrison who forced his way in to drop him. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Here's Penix. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Looking to throw, Penix. And caught by London. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Falcons at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
To the air, Penix. Oh, he finds his running back who snuck right down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26. A good pickup there, 26 yards. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We're moving right to veteran and continue from there.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix. Flush to his right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Koo knocks this one through the post. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. Mahomes going to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Xavier Worthy with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll throw with Penix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Drake London, the intended receiver there. And it's 3rd and short. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Rumph drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Another completion here to Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Andy Reid, some say always unpredictable, and here he says, we're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Butker on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Now Penix. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Penix. He gets that one complete to Wicks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's brought in downfield by London. And it'll be a big hit at the end of this one, but it's also a big play as he's able to hang on to the football. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throws right back to London, complete again. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Penix to the air once more. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Penix. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half, relatively. Sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them, or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker S1WK3. He hit us first, this one from 40 yards out. Koo knocks this one through the post. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the 1st half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it. Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Trying to lay one up deep. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now, they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. And that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. He'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And he's starting to make his way pretty well here in the NFL. We all know about the speed. Set the combine record for the 40-yard dash at 4.21. That sets him apart. But in addition, a good route runner, strong hands, and knows how to fight for the football.
That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now Mahomes gives to Hunt. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Penix working out of the gun here. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got London on the slant. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Drake London, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will cut the lead down to 15. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Already enjoying a two-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 70 yards. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Penix. To the sideline and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And looking to throw, Penix. That one deep for London. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And looking to throw, Penix. He's got a man, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Darnell Mooney. As the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that will cut the lead down to 15. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation.
And it'll be intercepted. And nothing comes of this last-ditch attempt at points as time will run out on this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
To the air, Penix. That's complete to Wicks. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Here's Pacheco once again. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Kareem Hunt with career touchdown number 60. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 35-yard line. He'll look to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 19 yards away. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit.
The Falcons will line up for the 2-point conversion.
70 range. Warrior 70. Check go.
They'll try and throw with Penix. Forced out to his left. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He gets it to Hunt on the crosser. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Hey, Ridley.
Handoff up the middle. Hunt breaks a tackle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 59 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down, but they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
Yellow. Hey, 15. Where's it?
Pacheco is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They run right side with Hunt, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
19 tight.
They'll throw with Penix. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
And how many times have we seen a pass rush like that from Chris Jones, just creating rubble as he gets back to the quarterback? 4 consecutive All-Pro nods. He's looking for his 5th this season.
They'll go play action here with Penix. He hits Mooney going across the middle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Penix. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. They'll run with Robinson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll set up a throw. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They'll try and throw. Here's Penix. Touchdown! A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And Juju's going to pick up the Chiefs' first down as he'll get this up to midfield. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Looking left-sided, he's got a man. That's Rice. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's to the former Cardinal and Raven. It's Hollywood Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there, just like last play. Mahomes to throw once more. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Hunt is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, They've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personneled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
A very solid gain of 27. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. The tight end in motion right. Operating from the gun, Penix. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hunt will try going up the middle. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
What a great coach. He said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Not what you wanted there. It goes as a sack and a loss of a yard, and now it's 4th and goal. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this will be caught by Mooney. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Penix. He gets that one complete to Wicks. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. And looking to throw, Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
19 tight. Check go.
And looking to throw, Penix. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 14. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for the Chiefs, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.